Two family films of a very different sort are available for viewing this weekend.
Here to review Belfast and Clifford the Big Red Dog is our own Big Red Dog, film critic Chuck Kaplinski. Hi, Chuck. I tried. It didn't work, but that's all right.
I've been called a lot of things, but that's first.
Speaking... Nope, that's not going to work either. Where's Pam?
Pam, well, we got rid of her. We shipped her off. She's up in Chicago right now. She's doing an interview with the two young actresses in King Richard, the two young girls who play Venus and Serena Williams.
Oh, nice.
That film comes out next week. We saw it on our trip to California over the weekend, so we'll have that interview next week. But that's where she's at.
Okay, before we talk movies, can we talk California? Because you and Pam went off whirlwind trip to LA. It looked dreamy.
It was dreamy. We packed a lot in while we were out there. We saw 3 films. We saw Belfast, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. We had a great press conference there with everyone. We'll have footage from that next week. We saw King Richard on the Warner Brothers lot. So I'm walking around film history where all these great films are made. And then we saw a movie called Power of the Dog with Benedict Cumberbatch, which comes out in a couple weeks. So thank you, Netflix, Focus Features. Boy, they treated us great.
Biggest star you met was?
Well, I don't know. Benedict Cumberbatch, Will Smith.
Yeah, Will Smith.
Will Smith,
I would
probably.
too.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
if you're in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, what are we starting with? We're starting with Belfast?
Let's start with Belfast. Let's start with the good one.
Okay.
Belfast is a movie that takes care. It looks back. You might think you have nothing in common with this film because it deals with a family, an Irish family in Ireland, in Belfast, of course, in the late 60s and early 70s. Writer-director Kenneth Branagh. This is basically his story. The young man you see there, he's named Buddy in the film, played by a kid named Jude Hill, and we met him while we were out there, and this kid is a charmer, an absolute charmer. And he and his family are in Belfast, as you see, 1969, and, well, the troubles break out. The violence between the Protestants and the Catholics break out right on the street where he lives, and that forces his family to have to make some decisions. Do they stay there with the threat of more violence touching their lives, or do they go to England where there are more opportunities? There you see Jamie Dornan as his dad. He has a great saying, if you can't be good, be careful, which he says again and again. Catalina Balfe from Outlander, there she is, plays the mom, and Judi Dench is his grandmother. As I say, this is a movie about having to make hard choices for your family, but it's also incredibly sweet. We see young Buddy, he has his first crush. What do I do about that? Trying to deal with school. How do I get better grades? And he's also dealing with an existential crisis as a 9-year-old. He goes to church, and the priest there tells him that you're on a path, and you either take the good way or the bad way, and you end up in eternal hell. And this tortures this 9-year-old boy, and he's trying to figure this whole thing out. If you have a family, if you're a mother and father and have had to make sacrifices for your kids, you're going to be able to relate to this film. And if you remember all these other things that you were dealing with as a child that seemed so important at the time, you're going to be able to relate to this film. This one's going to be around a while. Oscars all around for this one. I really liked it a lot.
We may have to do a short version of this next one, but if you have a giant red dog in your backyard, perhaps you can relate to this next one.
A short version is a good one. Now, in the interest of full disclosure, I have never read Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Really?
I don't know the source material, so they may have deviated from this fine book. If they did, shame on them, because this one really, really is a...
Snooze fest?
Dog.
Oh.
Dog, yeah. You know, I have a high bar for films like this. If you watch something like Paddington, that sets the bar high, because it's not just a kid's film. It appeals to adults as well. It's done in a very sincere fashion. There's more going on the levels in Paddington and the Pixar films. Here, nothing. Nothing at all. It's a big red dog. It tears stuff up. We chase after it. We try to catch it. It gets away. That's all it is. If you're 7 and below, this is your movie.
Did Pam like it? Being the animal lover that she is.
Pam gave it 15 minutes and she gave up.
Whoa. Okay, that does say a lot.
We have some winners, I believe, of your most recent contest.
Yes, we do. The movie Tick, Tick, Boom with Andrew Garfield is coming on Netflix. You're going to be able to see it early, though, if your name is Connie Ashworth, Lindsay Brownfield, Rusty Clevenger, Brett DeFranco, Sarah Irwin, Mary Jo Jarzen, Linda Lucic, and Marcia Slack. Look for an email. You'll have all the instructions coming your way.
All right.
Well, such fun stuff with y'all happening there out in LA, now back here in town and sharing fun fun giveaways.
And now I don't have to pay to go see Clifford. I know.
There you go.
Yes.
All right. If you want to win stuff for yourself or find out more about the movies that you love or that are coming out in theaters, you can check out Chuck and Pam's newsletter or their Facebook page, their website. We'll connect you to all of them at CILiving.tv.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to her visit with the stars.
For sure.
Okay,
Speaking of stars, are you all right?
Yeah.
Next, we're going to catch up with Bobby Poynton of the Letterman. He'll share all the details about the group's upcoming show at the Beast House and perhaps do Heather's hair.
He, though, has some great hair. Wait until you see.
I have not met him yet.
I got a peek. We'll be back.